Welcome to Post Credit Podcast.
Post Credit Podcast.
This podcast is going to be us talking about
Whatever. We're talking about superheroes. We're talking about Marvel, DC, My Hero. Whatever.
No, we're not talking about My Hero.
Well, whatever we want to talk about, some like stuff that inspires us. That we're going to talk about stuff that we go to a movie and we're like, wow, that made me feel like there's hope in humanity. Or you watch something and you're like, wow, that removed my hope in humanity. This is what this is about. Okay, we're gonna react.
We're gonna be talking a lot about Marvel movies, DC movies, but then maybe every so often, if we want to talk about a different movie, but it's typically gonna be superhero movies.
Exactly.
So, my name is Patty, and this is my husband, John Paul.
Hi.
And we are extreme Marvel fans, I would say.
Really?
You think unfortunately, the Marvel shirts we have are all dirty or something because
we wear them so
wearing
much.
them for Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
but
gotta rep the Marvel.
So basically, we really love Marvel, but Superman has shaken some things up.
Yeah.
So today,
we need to talk about that.
We are definitely talking about the new Superman movie.
Yeah.
So
what is your initial rating? 1 out of 10 for the Superman movie.
Whoa, we're already rating?
Is that what you want to do?
I don't know. Starting off with rating?
Let's just set the bar. Let's talk about it.
Okay. The Superman movie, I think I would rate it like a 9.5.
I was just gonna say 9.5. Yeah, because it was almost perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I love that movie so much, and I saw it twice, and I might even go again because it's so much fun.
Yeah, we've already seen it 2 times.
Like, it made me so happy. Like, it was definitely the best Superman I've ever seen. Best actor. Everyone's going crazy for him.
Mm-hmm. But including me.
All right. Forget you heard that. All right. But like, honestly, every part of the movie was good. Lex Luthor was incredible, and he's just like so smart. He's planning out all the tactics to beat up Superman. That was just like intelligent. His whole secret pocket dimension where he has the prison. It was just ridiculous how evil he was and how he really pushed the plot and did everything he could to make Superman have the worst life possible, just because he hated him, just he wanted to kill him, scared of him, and he's racist against aliens. Like, that was just the driving force of the movie, and seeing Superman's reaction to it, how he would not hurt a single innocent human life or even squirrel life, and even the giant monster in the city, would rather not kill it. He wanted to try to find a way to take it safely and incapacitate it or put it out of its misery quickly. Just like those two driving forces is all you need in a movie. Antagonist, protagonist. We love the heroes. We love powers. We love people doing what we wish we could do. If with our spirit, but with their powers, is like, that's what we go to the movies to see. So that, like, Superman 9.5. Like, I can barely think of anything that was bad about it.
Yeah, so I guess we'll like initially give a review without any spoilers and then go into more spoilers.
I wasn't even thinking about spoilers. Oh my gosh. All right. So we should be okay.
Did he say anything? I don't think he said anything that was spoiler.
No.
Yeah.
His battle plan is like in the trailer. My only negative is a spoiler, honestly.
Okay, so basically, initial review, John Paul already gave his piece. And then for me, I think that, what to say without spoiling, I think, first off, David Cornsweet is really good as being Superman.
He sells that nervous energy so well.
Yeah, and obviously all the actors are pretty good. I think that in this movie you get a very different Lois though than normal.
Yeah, she's really pushy. She's like get in that story. She's like, I'm gonna ask some hard questions,
But
even
she's just
though.
like very different attitude too, like not
Mm,
just like her being a reporter, because everybody's talking about, oh, she's a reporter and she's really trying to make sure it's ethical and this and that and whatever. But then like not just that, like her own personality is
yeah,
very different than other movies.
yeah. I've only seen Justice League that has a Superman actor and Lois actor. I've literally only seen Justice League and like the Batman Dark Knight trilogy, but I've not seen Man of Steel or Batman vs Superman like you have. So I really only know Lois Lane from the Justice League, and she's nothing character.
Yeah, so she's very different in this movie. I don't know how much there is to say without spoiling. I think that if you were watching this for some reason before you're going to actually go and see Superman, I would say it's a really good movie. I rate it a 9.5 out of 10. You're going to leave feeling like there's hope in the world. And but also on top of that, there are pretty dark moments, and I wouldn't say this movie is for kids. Although people are bringing their kids to go
Oh
see it,
yeah,
but like I would say, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to say. It depends on your kid, but I would say it's PG 13.
yeah,
But maybe if you have a mature 10-year-old, maybe that's the lowest I would go. But I don't know about anything below that.
yeah. I mean, there's language. There is definitely like violence,
Yeah, there's some pretty messed up moments.
like blood, of course, um, bones breaking, that kind of stuff. It's so I'm just so out of the sphere of like what's good appropriate for kids, honestly, because I rate movies so objective of that kind of scale. Just I'm just like, how good is it? But yeah, yeah.
Um, but it's also like in terms of, I don't know, in terms of like some crazy stuff, I would say not for kids. In terms of like sexual stuff, it's not really that bad.
No, it's
And there's
not
a lot of kissing, but nothing else.
making out.
So I think that at this point, that should give you enough to go and see it, because you really should just go and see it.
Yeah,
Um, so let's just have free reign.
yeah,
We can
because it
just
has
talk
been
about
2
anything.
weeks, and that's eternity in superhero movies since it came out.
So all spoilers at this point on. Um, I think that there's just so much about this movie that's really good, but there's also stuff that I think was not so good, and I'm not sure if other people were talking about it. I haven't really seen other people talk about bad things about it. Everyone's been obsessed with David Cornsweet and also the whole cast and interviews and all that stuff. So I kind of immediately want to talk about like the things that I think are wrong, just because
Hmm.
I think everybody's already been saying all the good things, but like I could go and talk about that.
Yeah, well, we can talk about our biggest like elephant in the room of the negative for this movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, obviously, at the end, if you watch the movie right before the credits, Supergirl crashes in
Mhm.
drunk from another planet where she can actually have a red sun, and so she can get drunk on that planet, and it's like she comes and gets crypto, and like she's the owner of him, and he's like pouncing on her, and you see like, oh, why crypto is pouncing on him the whole movie is because she likes it like that, and that's how she's like raised him. And they say in the movie, like Superman says, it's not a healthy relationship. Crypto aside, the immediate like impression of Supergirl is very negative. Like
Yeah.
we've watched so much of the Supergirl show. You want to talk about that? How you felt Supergirl usually is?
Well, it's just like at the end of the movie, you're like, oh, there's hope in the world. Superman's such a good person.
Mm-hmm.
You're leaving it very like happy, and then it's like Supergirl comes and she's kind of just like a brat. And like especially like first time seeing it, like expectations of seeing Supergirl, like it was definitely very disappointing.
Yeah.
And like cuz now it's like, oh, I guess that's the character. Like now in my mind I'm like I guess that's who she's going to be
Yeah.
for at
First
least the
impression.
beginning. But like the first time seeing it, you're like, how is this Supergirl? Like this is not her. And it's also kind of very like you get to see this man that's very, this and that and whatever, and a good example. And then a woman comes and it's just like, oh, like I don't think it represents Supergirl very well. And I think it also kind of brings down like women. And then also just
Yeah.
like younger people, like,
Yeah.
oh, she's young. And it's like, okay, like, and like, why is she acting like this? This is just
Yeah.
very annoying. And it's not very like Supergirl.
No, I mean, watching the show was always she's like the best of us. Like she's such a great person, great soul. She doesn't know why there's people who are mean to each other in the world. She just wants everybody to be happy. Melissa Benoist is just such a charming personality, and she sells the character so well. And I almost wish it was her, but I don't know how old she is now. But what we that was what we got with Superman in this movie. But for a long time, we never got that with Superman because I've never seen the Christopher Reeves movies from the '70s. Yeah, but you have seen those old Superman movies from the '70s with Christopher Reeves,
I
um,
think. I think it was
like a
him.
long time
It
ago,
could. It's like one of the old Superman
probably.
movies. I don't remember.
So obviously
It's
he's
probably that one.
yeah, right. Like he's a great person in those movies. I know just knowing culture. But for forever and a lot of my life and definitely yours is like, oh, that's been Supergirl takes the role of like one of the best people. You know, what a just a good person, and she happens to be a superhero. And now you get a whole movie of Clark Kent being that, of Superman being that, and it's like, and now Supergirl's not up to that level is really disappointing.
Yeah.
And I am familiar with the story that is going to be adapted for the Supergirl movie, Woman of Tomorrow. I'm familiar with it. I know she goes through a lot in that movie, and she's implied to have already gone through a lot. And of course, she was older when Krypton exploded, and there is some time dilation in the is a negative zone of the Phantom Zone. I'm going to get confused. Negative zone is Fantastic Four, so the Phantom Zone. I don't know what the plot is going to be for this movie in this universe, but I know she's damaged mentally. But there's a lot more ways you can sell mentally damaged than rowdy, uh, bumbling, obnoxious imbecile.
Yeah. She's just so annoying.
Like just like a minute, a 2 minutes of screen time was a bad impression, and a lot of people who watch the show are going to look at that and say, "Wait, what? Oh, they ruined Supergirl in this universe." And they might not give that movie a chance, which they should. I'm sure it's going to be great. Just like this movie was great. Like James Gunn, we got that great tone, and we can go into maybe you want to go into something that a lot of people don't like about the movie, but I did not see as a problem at all. Is like the comedy. People are saying that the comedy is ruining the deep emotional scenes.
Yeah.
I don't get that at all. Like if you told me, oh, James Gunn movie, it's gonna be like Guardians, and I'm like, well, that doesn't really fully match Superman, so let's just wait and see. He he did such a great job as Superman. He did the perfect tone for a Superman movie.
Yeah. I think that the jokes fit in well when they were there. And I also think, yeah, I think for the most part, it was good. Like certain people were mentioning certain scenes and saying like, "Oh, can't take anything seriously," and I thought that those scenes were taken seriously. The one other thing that I did not like, though, that goes into this is near the end when when Lex is yelling at Superman and like saying his piece, and then Crypto just attacks him while he's talking.
Yeah,
And I felt like first off, the acting was so good from Nick
Nicholas Holt.
Nicholas Holt. And that I felt like it was really good. Like it was a really good piece from Lex Luthor. And then Crypto just comes and attacks him. And then like it was kind of like a whole moment for
Yeah.
that. And it's like that was the one thing where I was like, they made a joke out of a serious point, and I did not like it.
Yeah, it felt like there was like an argument that was going on between Superman and Lex, and it was such a compelling argument, and they had both were saying their sides, and they both had points, like valid points, and it got cut off, and like a dog is barking on the other line. That's how it felt, and it's like, bring it up, bring it up. That's all, folks. Like, okay, like Teehee, the story's over. Like that kind of just that kind of slammed the piano keys down when I'm in the middle of an orchestra. Like, okay,
Yeah, it was so good, and then just Crypto comes and attacks him. It's like,
yeah,
okay,
that's
like,
that's
and then
my
it was like a joke too. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't
no,
even just that Crypto was attacking him to like protect Superman or something.
no,
Like, Crypto was never like a smart dog in this movie,
no.
so he was always like a joke. So
I'm okay with him being a joke
I don't
because
mind that,
I never really,
but I would say that Crypto is like probably my least favorite part of the movie.
yeah, because Supergirl was in the movie, but I guess it's like it's really it feels like a post credit scene. But yeah, Crypto, I definitely think like I don't want to make anybody mad, but for what the story was, I think that he was a little too heavy in the story, and every time that the every it felt like every time the writers were like writer's block, what happens, and the guy's like Crypto. Of course, yeah. Let me just write in Crypto there. That'll solve the plot. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't in the whole movie,
yeah,
but and like I guess it made it so that he would go and find him. So like that was kind of a major point.
yeah.
But
If
like,
it was just
you
that, I would have
know,
been happy in the beginning.
I don't know. I didn't really like Crypto that much. It was a little like weird. But then also like I don't know. I don't really get it too much, but whatever, that's fine.
Yeah,
But
I would. I kind of wished I could finish like and find out what Lex was about to say because he was about to say like the government told me to take you down. I'm doing what they wanted, no matter what my feelings are about it. Like I kind of wish I could have that, and then I also have Superman's response to that. But it just felt like it was just like wrap it up in a
yeah.
joke. So that's the only example I can think of ill-timed humor in a James Gunn movie, which is like it's
Yeah,
for
I
Superman. It's
think
very
everything else was
respectful.
fine. Like it was
Yeah,
like funny
yeah.
and it was fine. I don't think it was like not good timing.
No,
I mean, like, sure, could it be more serious if you didn't have those jokes? Sure, but I don't think that was this movie. Like the whole point of DC, I think they're trying to go in the direction of like a little bit of more humor rather than being the dark superhero stories only. Like I think they're still going to have some darker themed movies.
yeah,
Just like I mean Marvel has had its darker themed movies too.
yeah.
So I think like it's fine. And I feel like Superman, like everyone's always been trying to make Superman so dark. And it's like I don't think Superman's ever been like that. Like
Never
technically,
should be.
like traditionally, like
Yeah,
Superman's supposed to be the most basic superhero that brings hope and light into the world, not like, oh, he's the dark. Like that's Batman.
yeah. That is Batman, and Batman does a great job in that role. I think when you limit Superman to focusing on his godlike attributes, you know, put him in the light of like a Greek god with like anger and
Yeah.
all this stuff, then it's like, well, now we're telling a different story, and it's who's gonna beat who, like who's just angrier and all this stuff. Like
Yeah.
there's plenty of place in the world for that, but honestly, you are not gonna get very far with Superman telling interesting stories when all you care about is how powerful he is.
I think that people were talking about that, like saying how this Superman isn't like feeling like held back by his superpowers or like burdened by his superpowers, that he's feeling like that's just his duty, like this is what he's supposed to do. Whereas other Supermans, it's been like always about, oh, how this is such a terrible thing for him and how it's so hard to deal with. And with this Superman, it's not like that.
Now, Superman was incredible. I mean, let's talk about all the good things we love about this movie.
Well, I wanted to go into the other point of something that I didn't like was that how, because we were talking about Supergirl, but
Mm.
I think that like other than Lois Lane, we don't see like a good female character in this
Oh
movie.
yeah,
And
you
even Lois
yeah
Lane is like not not perfect either in terms of a female character. Like, okay, we get Superman, and he brings so much hope, and it's very inspiring. And I wouldn't say that any of the other characters that are female give inspiring.
yeah. Lois is always like the whole conversation of her saying punk rock and he's saying, well, that's the real punk rock. Like she's so from a different kind of mental space than him. She's
Yeah,
not inspiring, really.
like she's kind of like more serious,
Yeah,
more like
cynical. Yeah.
depressing or whatever, I guess, or
Hmm.
like
She sees the world half as glass half empty.
yeah, exactly, like very like I don't know. It's a different kind of vibe for Lois Lane, I think, and a different kind of vibe in general for maybe the female character. But like, I don't really hate that. But like, there's no female character in this movie where it's giving hope or inspiring. And I
Yeah,
think that I'm trying to think about like Guardians of the Galaxy and like
yeah.
James Gunn movies, which is the only ones I know are Guardians of the Galaxy other than this movie. And I'm trying to think if he's good at writing female characters.
No, that's definitely an element. I
And
think
so
you're
I'm a
right.
little bit worried because maybe Supergirl, even though it's based off of a comic book, maybe she is always going to be kind of more annoying. And I am thinking about
Yeah.
how, like,
Hmm.
okay, Gamora was always her way, which was fine. Like, that was the
That was
character.
yeah.
And then
Deadliest woman in the
Mantis was
galaxy.
like, Mantis is very dumb
She's
and
Phoebe from
whatever.
Friends, but for
And
Guardians.
then, um,
Nebula is just so cranky
yeah,
and
and then
aggressive.
she's basically Gamora, but just worse.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh, there may be not like he might not be very good at this.
It seems like he had a like angry mother and a like hopeful father. It's like growing up. That's what you can
Yeah, like he
think
writes a
about James
very
Gunn.
like fun guy,
Yeah.
but then he always writes the girls very like not
Like
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 either like
angry and
angry,
naggy and
snappy.
yeah, not the traditional idea. And that whole conversation when she says, "You see everyone and everything as beautiful," you could tell where she's coming from with that and how she's on the other side of that.
Yeah, so I think that Lois is a certain way. I don't mind her being that way.
Yeah,
But
it's unique for Lois.
Hawk Girl is so annoying. I do not like Hawk Girl.
I thought,
I don't like her character. I don't like how she's all like, mm, like so like doesn't care about anybody else, only cares about herself kind of vibe. Yeah, so then you have the engineer,
yeah,
and she's obviously a villain. I don't know. People were trying to say that she was like good a little bit in this movie. I'm like, I don't see anything good. I think that they were saying traditionally she's like a superhero and not a villain.
it seems like she's gonna have a lot of resentment for Lex after this movie, and she might be anti-hero, something like that.
And she's just fine. I mean, she's a villain. And then, and it was a little like, okay. And then you have the dumb girl. And she's the point of her is to be dumb. So
Yeah.
it's like there was no girl in this that was inspiring or like obviously Lois was like strong and like the engineer is strong, I
Mhm.
guess. But like it's just a different kind of strong,
Yeah,
you know?
I think Lois is a great character. She fits the movie very well as a foil to Superman, like the other side of the coin, and how you view the world. Similar to Lex. I really did like Lois, and I think she's okay in this movie. And I understand what you're saying completely.
And I like her too.
I think, yeah,
But I wish that there was another female that I could look to.
I wish it was Supergirl. If it was Supergirl, we wouldn't have
Yeah.
having these
Then I would be like, okay.
conversations. We wouldn't have this problem
But
because
like,
Supergirl's always been that way to us.
and like James Gunn is not directing every single movie.
No,
So it should be fine. But like Wonder Woman, like he would not be able to do Wonder Woman.
yeah, Wonder Woman is like Wonder Woman, like 2017 Wonder Woman from Patty Jenkins, like totally different writing of a female character. And oh my gosh, that movie is so good.
Yeah. So I think that was my major annoyance with this movie.
Yeah, you didn't like feel as represented as like as the inspirational characters. You didn't really feel represented in that. Um, but in Superman, I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm scared that all the female characters are going to be acting this way, and either they're dumb or they're just like depressing vibe,
yeah,
you
like
know.
yeah, it's odd. I mean, I can't think of a single James Gunn movie like that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of them. I've seen all the Marvel ones he's done, um, but yeah. But man, Superman is very inspirational as a character. Like again, such a beautiful perspective on the world.
Yeah.
Like oh my gosh, a breath of fresh air. Um, I'm trying not to talk about Fantastic Four compared to this movie, but we'll save that for next time.
Yeah. So to talk about the good things, well, we obviously like how Superman was not so like dark or like, oh, my life is so hard. Like he was, there was never a
Yeah,
point where he was like, my life is so hard. I'm Superman.
yeah.
You know,
He
like
was doing everything in his power to help people. I loved how he really cared about causing more destruction and limiting how much destruction he caused, or his inaction caused. Like you wouldn't see Man of Steel, Superman. The villain destroys a building behind him, the top floor, and he turns around and goes, "Is everyone okay in here?"
I would just go into about how this movie is very like fast paced and very like it just throws you into the movie, and it's like kind of like a good thing and a bad thing.
Oh yeah,
Like I kind of like that it was obviously not like an origin story. It was like 3 years after he's already Superman. And I kind of like that. I like how Lois and him are already together. It's not, and she already knows who he is. Like, I do like that because then you can focus on other things. But there is something about like, that kind of like love story or that kind of like origin story, obviously, where it's like you get to see the beginning of things, and this movie is like you didn't get to see the beginning of like anything,
I
which
know.
is kind of good and kind of bad.
I know. When you have to like kickstart a new universe and hit the ground sprinting, yeah, I get it. That's totally fair. But at the same time, every time you get a new Spider-Man, now it's gonna be, oh, he's not gonna have the origin story. Like I missed that. Like I do love getting to see more with them. Um, I love every little moment of somebody learning the powers or learning what it's going to be like to live with their new powers. Like such good moments of acting, and you get to see that actor really kind of make you feel like with the emotions. Oh, what is this actually like? And being told about it is like, yeah, I know what Superman's. I know what Spider-Man. I know Spider-Man got bit by the radioactive spider. I know Uncle Ben died. Like I know it happened. Yeah, but I love seeing it. Like that is something I do feel like I missed out sometimes. A lot of the stuff, and Superman is like metahumans, explosion of Krypton, being raised in Kansas by Ma and Pa Ken.
I do
It's
kind of feel like Superman has always been like you don't immediately get origin story though. I will say
yeah,
Superman has always been like he's having superpowers. Like,
I feel like it was Superman's always been like we're gonna breeze through it, like Up, the beginning of Up, you know,
yeah.
not like hit the snow. Here's the text: hit the snow. He's in the middle of a fight with Lex Luthor. Sometimes I do want to see what it's like, you know, them putting on the costume. Sometimes I do want to see what it's like, the team coming together and the villain realizing like that they hate the hero. Like sometimes I do want to see that. But we got thrown into it and
Yeah, and I think it was good
it
for
was
this.
efficient. Yeah.
I think that it was better this way. I don't think that really, I don't remember Man of Steel very well, and I don't really remember any other Superman movie that very well, but I don't really think Superman's ever actually like origin. Like,
Not really. Yeah.
maybe you would see, I think in Supergirl, maybe. I remember some time in something you see like, oh, they put the baby in the, and then, oh, they send him. I think maybe in Supergirl we saw that, because then you see like them be like, oh, you're gonna go and protect him. So like maybe like that. Maybe we'll see that in Supergirl. I don't know.
That would be great.
But
Flashback there.
like I think Superman has always been kind of like flashback vibe
Yeah, we'll tell it to you
for,
later when we need some emotional moments.
and I think that's fine.
I think it's fine for this movie, especially jumping in because we did get that scene in Kansas. That's one of my favorite parts of the movie when he finally goes back home and he's like, "Oh, all these people are saying all these things about me. Everything I believed in is a lie. This video is true." And he finally goes
Yeah.
home to his adopted parents, and such a great scene where his dad says, "What you are is what you do, what you make of it. Like we're not here to tell you. Parents are not here to tell you who you should be. We're to give you the tools and the path to be a good person. Um, it's up to you." And I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, I think also talking about how like his parents technically were like bad people thing, and like
Yeah, Krypton.
I don't think that's like normal Superman story. Like it's
Certainly
usually
not.
it's like not that. So it
Yeah,
was definitely an interesting choice.
yeah, I know.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
It's so
I
odd.
still feel like it's fake. Like, I've seen interviews of people asking James Gunn, "So is it fake? Is it fake?" And he's like, "How can people believe it's not fake, or whatever? It's not real. How are people thinking it's not real?" And all this stuff. And I'm like, I still feel like it's not real.
James Gunn is a big talker. He'll say what he has to say a little bit like Stanley. It's like I'll just watch the next one, you know.
Yeah, like I feel like even as he's saying this, like he sounds like he's lying.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I kind of feel like it's fake. And at the same time, when I saw the movie again, I was like, okay, yeah, it's probably not fake. But it just feels fake.
the all the reasoning for why it's real was so like, just it's real. Just shut up. It's real. Just like
Yeah.
just stop with your arguments.
Like you
It's
would
real.
think it would probably be a part of the movie, him trying to figure out if it was real or not.
Yeah, you'd think.
So maybe it kind of feels like they thought about that, and then they were like, we don't have enough time for this.
We don't.
And then it's like, let's just have Mr. Terrific say,
Yeah,
I know some guys.
they
It's
wouldn't fake
real.
it. Yeah,
Like, okay, like I think if they were truly saying that it is real, I think they would have had Superman be like, go and try to figure it out.
yeah. But I wouldn't put it past Lex at all, though.
But it's also like, does Superman understand this language himself?
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's been a lot of universes where he does, but I don't think he does in this one. It's
I
just
can't tell if he
translated.
understands it or if it's just being translated for him.
When he's like saying it back to himself, he's saying it in English, like a prayer in church, where it's like,
I know. That's why I'm like, can he hear it and understand that it's saying, like,
he
I don't know.
he probably knows the exact translation of just that phrase.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. I'm like,
Yeah.
does he speak the language? Does he understand the language to the point where
Yeah.
if he hears the other half, that he first off can translate it himself, but then also can tell if it's his parents' voices or not.
Yeah, that would be very interesting if that was part of it. I don't think he is. I don't think he's could be that smart enough. I don't think that's a point of that. The reason I think this is kind of a non-issue is because I think the point of the movie is like it did such a good job of saying like that. Maybe that doesn't really matter. Maybe
But
like what your parents, the bad things your parents have done, doesn't really
yeah, and
matter.
I think that was nice. And that's why
Yeah,
it's another point of why I think it is probably real is the whole
yeah,
point of trying to say like your chosen family is more important than your biological family.
yeah.
Whatever. Or not whatever. But also
Also,
what I was thinking about was how Supergirl was obviously older.
yeah, she
So does she
was.
have that vibe?
She has a little bit more of. Oh, I actually was raised on Krypton till I was probably like 6, and she has to deal with that almost that like that religious guilt, of
But
like
like,
this is
is
what we
that a
do in
part
my
of it, or
culture.
is she just like, or is she going to act like them, kind of like more prideful and more like, well, I'm more important than these puny people, like vibe. Like, I can't tell. Like,
No, you
it's
think
kind
so?
of giving that they're gonna use that to make her not as good of a person.
I hope not. Here's what I think.
That's why I'm very, very concerned about what's happening with
I
Supergirl
know,
because
me too.
I love Supergirl. I love Supergirl more than Superman,
Same.
technically.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of scared that they're just going to ruin it.
Yeah.
And that other people are going to love it because they love it when
Right.
there's, more of a issue going on instead of people just being good people. Like
Yeah.
that's why Superman is so good because it's literally like brings me hope again. Like I used
Yes.
to be more like him.
Yeah.
And then now I'm not because of the world.
The
And it's
world.
so nice to see that. And
Yeah.
then it's like but then all these other characters are all like, like got
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah.
And maybe they got attitude because they're trying to show how good Superman is and make him seem even better because everybody around him kind of sucks. But I want to see other people be good.
Yeah. Um what I personally think is going to happen with Supergirl is that she is going to know about the practices of Krypton and colonizing other planets and the harem and all that. She's going to know about that and probably the other mess up things that Kryptonians are supposed to do. And her wrestling with that is going to give her so much
But
mental
also,
trauma.
I'm not sure, like, even more about this. Like, is that even something that they, like, say? Like, is this a part of their culture or was it just his parents that said this? Like,
Yeah, I don't.
because also you would think that she would have said something,
Yeah,
like, she would have said, oh, when they said, you're sent to go and take care of your cousin and also rule the world or make sure he rules their
make sure
world.
he does it.
Like it's a little bit confusing. That's why it's like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, it reminds me so much of Invincible and those super characters and their planet. That's the whole point of it. But that planet doesn't explode.
Yeah, so it's a little like I don't know how I feel about that long term. Like for this
Yeah,
movie, it was fun and it was cute. You could see all
yeah.
this other stuff. Oh, it was so cute. And then now in the future, it's gonna be like, what?
It's kind of how I felt about Sentry and Thunderbolts. It's like it's really good for this movie, and then the future is like, oh, genie's out of the bottle. So what are we gonna do about that? So we can talk about some of the other characters. It's very fascinating to look at characters like Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and Mister Terrific, and Metamorpho is in a different camp. But
Mm-hmm.
these two guys is like, and a lot of characters in the movie are very quippy, snappy, like maybe kind of a jerk, maybe, but they're really funny and that kind of stuff. Maybe a little self-absorbed, or maybe with in the case of Mr. Terrific, maybe a little more like they don't care about being socially accepted, or maybe socially awkward,
Well,
or
that's his character. I feel
not
like,
scared. He doesn't like care about talking about people's emotions. And
yeah.
it's funny because it's so James Gunn, and then it's like, where did James Gunn learn how to make a Superman movie?
Had to make Superman movie.
Where did James Gunn learn how to make a Superman movie? Because it's like you could see like where he's come from and where he's going. From my perspective as like a limited James Gunn fan. Um, Guy Gardner was great, just classic Nathan Fillion. He's been a lot of his stuff. So funny. I love when he's flipping people off with his powers. That was so funny.
Yeah.
Um, I did like him, even though I know he's always been the biggest jerk in DC.
Yeah, and that was fine.
That's fine. Mr. Terrific was just so cool, brilliant. Mind. I loved
The only one that
getting to
decided to
see
help.
that was yeah. He's the only one that decided to help Lois save Superman. That whole pocket dimension was so interesting. How Lex literally just put even his ex girlfriend there for writing a blog post about him.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen in recent years a supervillain be just so petty and just so selfish and evil. And that was perfect for this movie because you need to have somebody so on the other side of good that Superman is. You need to have Lex Luthor for this movie.
Yeah, I loved
Perfect.
Lex Luthor, I think.
Perfect. I can't imagine the casting being any different. Nicholas Holt applied for the role of Superman, and I can't imagine that at all because it was perfect this way. These actors
Yeah.
playing these characters.
Yeah, I can't imagine him as Superman.
No, casting for this movie was overall very good.
Yeah.
The graphics for this movie. You were saying something about the
Oh,
motion.
yeah. Another thing that felt a little weird was it felt like the camera movements were like either assisted by AI or like CGI or some sort of stabilizing
Yeah,
weird
yeah,
AI thing
yeah,
because it felt very like the movements. Like if you've seen this movie, you need to
yeah.
go and see it again where it's like the movements are very unnatural. Like there's just no way that it was just filmed. Like they
No,
used some editing software to make it like AI feeling, which was a little bit annoying. Like I hope they didn't.
I I think that is less AI on regular footage. I could be wrong, but it seems like it's more. Oh, this is a 3D environment, so there's not really going to be as much motion blur, and they have to add in the motion blur themselves. And it's like 3D models, 3D characters. So
Yeah, but
every
Superman's a real person and he was wearing a real suit.
yeah, obviously when he's on the ground, it's not really like you don't notice anything because he's in real life. But I think when he's like, especially doing a lot of the action scenes, especially like the one in the stadium, the one in the snow, um, I feel like it was kind of a thing where they're 3D models and they're
But
like
I'm not
running the
sure.
simulation.
I don't think that's true.
Like live action footage is just going to have the healthy amount of motion blur, but I
But I
think that
think that
sometimes it
they
didn't
were
add
fighting
in enough.
and they
Yeah,
were flying.
yeah.
Like as in like he was up there.
He was up on a wire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They talk about
there's a
that.
lot of that, and that stuff was really good. Oh my gosh, like him flying through the Antarctic.
Him flying was good, but then also it's like other people were saying this, but it's also like it is a little bit of a goofy camera like thing
It's
too
unique,
because
yeah.
it's like close up on his face and then like in like point 0.5 or something like
Yes,
or
film
like
the
it's
whole
like
screen.
the like fishbowl like
Yeah,
lens or
yeah,
something like that. It's like
kind of, yeah,
why like a little bit, but
yeah.
like it was a little goofy I think to choose that to
But
like
he's a
film it like
goofy,
that.
goofy guy. He likes the Mighty Crowd Joys. He thinks they're punk rock.
Also, I think we needed to see more Clark Kent.
I mean, isn't that like always the problem?
Like Clark Kent is so cute.
Oh boy, here we go. Everyone's obsessed with him, Miss Lane. Everyone's obsessed, and he's great. The interview scene when she records
Yeah,
him in the
everyone's
apartment.
obsessed.
That was another excellent scene, one of my favorites in the movie because
Hmm.
the emotion. I mean, you see like what he wants to say and how in his head it's so simple. I stopped the work because people were gonna die, and
Yeah.
she's not thinking of how good-hearted he maybe really is because she doesn't can't
I
believe it
think
or doesn't
she
want to
I
believe
think
it.
that she believes that he is good-hearted and that or whatever and that he is a good person and that he has pure intentions. But
Hmm.
she's like, but you have to think about other people and how other
Yeah,
people are going to look at this
yeah.
and how
He's not seeing that.
this you're kind of representing America
Yeah,
and like other countries think that you're like America's weapon kind of vibe.
he doesn't
Like
even
that's
think about it.
basically what she's saying and that like any decision he's making is making it look like America's making that decision.
Yeah, you can't be truth,
And
justice, in the American way, and not stand in for America in the public eye.
so I think that's what she was saying. Like I don't think she questions him being a bad person,
Right,
but
right.
she's saying that other people could view it that way, kind of
And,
thing,
yeah, and I also think
which makes
she.
sense.
Me exactly. That's what happened. I mean, it was so easy for Lex to manipulate the public vision of Superman, just like that. Because that's kind of scary. Actually, he's in limited power. Oh. I also kind of think that she is having a hard time accepting that he is, you know, so pure or so oblivious to the situation because she is so self sabotaging in relationships too. So she's kind of like,
Yeah,
oh, this is no way this will work out. I'm not good at relationships. No way I found this guy who's so pure. Even like he's got to be like there's some kind of ulterior motive. Like I can see that perspective too if that's um
yeah, but I also don't think that
the
she
script.
views him that way. I
Yeah,
think that she is just like doesn't know how to handle arguments because they obviously got into an argument,
and she's like obviously pushing the buttons.
and then he doesn't know how to handle it either.
He thought the scene. Oh my gosh, that was such a real scene when he said I'm leaving, and she didn't say anything back. Shuts the door, and then she goes, "He really left." Like with one look, I was like, "Oh, been
Mm-hmm.
there." Wow, that's real. Like
And the
it's
argument was
not
very real
argument.
vibes
Yeah, like the
for a
argument's
relationship.
not.
Also,
Oh
the
my
whole
gosh,
it's like everyone's obsessed with Superman, but no one would want to date Superman. Like he's coming
hard.
in being like, "Oh, I'm making your favorite," and then it's not even her favorite; it's his
It's
favorite.
his favorite.
I'm like,
That's real too.
it's like, uh, uh.
Yeah. You say that, and then he flies in out the window and picks you up, and
But I love their love. Like I'm just like, you
no, it
know,
was so cute. Um,
I want to see more of them.
I think they're good for each other. You
I want
know,
to see more of Clark Kent and Lois Lane. Oh, I was thinking about Lois Lane in this movie and how it's like obviously she helps save Superman, kind of,
absolutely.
and how it's like, oh, she's not like a typical damsel in distress. But I was also thinking about how, first off, Lex never comes for her, like,
They
never
don't
like goes
interact, do they?
after her. I don't think they interact at all. Like, in terms of like typical superhero, supervillain movies where there's a love interest, not only does she like help save him, but also like she's never under attack, which I kind of
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
I like how she was never under attack in this entire movie. There was never a point where she was like being targeted to like get to Superman. Like I kind of
yeah.
like that they didn't do that. I
There's
like
no
how
damsel in distress.
it was like literally just he hates Superman and he was so focused on Superman and he was but the thing is that he did do other ways of like
Yeah,
trying to get to him.
he did also say he would kill Clark Kent,
Yeah.
which is so fun. I love that
But like
moment.
he does not know about Lois Lane,
No,
does not know about their connection at all. And I think that it was really good to see that they weren't under attack of like the love interest being killed. Like it was just very nice to see how like that. I don't know. Like, am I the only one thinking about this?
I never even thought about it. I didn't. Like obviously, I didn't know. I know they didn't interact, but I didn't think about how she's not a typical damsel in distress.
But not even just in that she saves him,
Yeah.
basically, kind of helps save him, but that she was just never under attack because there are plenty of stories where the girl saves the guy. Okay, we've been there, done that, but typically, still that the love interest becomes somehow attacked in one way. Like usually it's like they save each other kind of thing at some point. And it's like so nice. And it's not like he has to be worried about like a love interest like being killed
Yeah, it wasn't
just
like
for being in love with him, you know?
yeah. Just just definitely my favorite DC movie.
You definitely walk out of the movie feeling like happier in life.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of why I kind of want to go back and see it again because
Yeah.
I know it's going to make me happy at the end.
More than any other movie this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to rank Superman.
Yeah, our favorite
Guys
actress. Yeah.
who've played Superman.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. So I think we can start with whatever we want to start with. So we're gonna rank all the ones in movies we've seen. Who's the best?
This is my main man.
Let's do it.
Well, I think we know who's the best.
Definitely David Cornsway is the best.
And then I would say probably him next. Since everybody wants to talk about
That's
him.
good. I also think Tyler Hoechlin was very good. He played Superman in Supergirl.
Yeah, I guess
He was very good.
He was good, yeah.
And his own series was also very good.
And then I don't know who this guy is.
That is from the show Smallville, and he also appeared in a CW thing. He was it was great in that too. I'd say he's pretty good. He's barely ever has his powers. That never wears a costume. He's pretty good. And then you have Nicolas Cage from the Flash movie, which is like so nothing. I don't know. And then you have Man of Steel Superman.
Honestly, like Man of Steel is like one of the only movies I've fallen asleep in. Like, yeah, it wasn't in the actual movie theater, but I still fell asleep, and it was during the action.
At home, yeah.
So I'm gonna say yes.
Got it.
And then I'm gonna say I don't know who he is.
Let me see. Oh, I didn't see this movie. He's from Return of Superman in the early 2000s.
Oh, I think I've seen him.
Yeah.
Wait.
Brandon Ralph.
I can't see his face though.
He's also in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. He plays Adam in CW.
Honestly, that's probably good where he is.
David Cornsweet is the best. Then Christopher Reeves from the 70s is also incredible. And I also love Tyler Hoechlin. Yeah, Brandon Routh. He's good. Just,
Good.
I didn't even see that movie. And I only know him as Adam. The guy who plays Jeremiah in Supergirl, her dad, he was a Superman. And then the guy who plays Clark Kent in Smallville, he was pretty good. Man of Steel, just it doesn't really feel like Superman. I mean,
yeah,
that's what that is. And Nicolas Cage is just kind of a joke. So,
yeah. All right. Well, we are done.
We are finished. Thank you so much for watching Post Credit Podcast. Talking about Superman.
Comment down below what you think of Superman and if you agree with any of our opinions. Yeah. And let us know anything that you think we didn't mention. And please like and subscribe. And we will catch you next time. Bye.